Welcome to Game Table Online's video tutorial for the German game Igel Ärgern. In English, the game title translates to Hedgehogs in a Hurry. It was originally published in 1990 by DNF Games and was one of GTO's earliest games. In the gathering place, people frequently abbreviate the name to just Igel, I-G-E-L. It is a lighter game that has a backgammon-ish feel and can accommodate from 2 to 6 players. The game plays fine with 2 players, but the chaos increases as the number of players increase. This is our game table setup. The only settings we have for this game are the number of players, turn length, and the animate rolls option. We'll set the number of players to 3 and disable the timer for the purposes of this tutorial. But typically 45 seconds should be enough for a new player. 30 seconds is still comfortable, and 15 seconds picks up the pace. Now that we like our table settings, we will click Game and launch it. Each player has a set of 4 hedgehog pieces of one color. In this case, we are the blue pieces at the bottom. If you hover over each piece, you can see that each hedgehog has its own name, such as Creeper or Sleeper. The goal is to be the first player to move 3 out of our 4 pieces from the start zone on the left to the zeal or finish line on the right. The basic mechanic of the game is that each turn we will roll a die, and a piece on that numbered row moves 1 space from the left to the right. To set up, we'll take turns placing 1 piece down at a time into the start zone. To do that, just click and drag to whichever row we'd like to take. Put it on the 3 for that. And we'll go around the table doing this sequentially. Once the game starts, we will start to spread out here. And we want to be able to take advantage of as many rolls as possible, so we try to spread out. But after all the roll spaces are taken, we will need to stack on top of other pieces, like here. The only rules for stacking and the setup is that the stacks must be as equal as possible, and that we do not need to stack on our own pieces. This is because in each stack only the top piece can move. If you click on any stack, you can get a cross-section of how the pieces line up by color in the upper right-hand corner. This is not too big an issue in a 2-player or 3-player game, but as you increase the number of players, the stacks can increase. Now that we're all in the start zone, gameplay will commence. Each turn has 3 phases, or 3 actions. Rolling the die, sidestepping one of our pieces to an adjacent row, and then moving 1 piece from the numbered row that was rolled. So we rolled the number 4, so that means a piece on the 4 row will be moved. So we have the option of sidestepping one of our pieces, so we will move it into the 4 row, and then we have to move a piece from the 4 row from left to right. It should be noted that the sidestep move is optional and only for our pieces. The row move, however, is mandatory and can be a piece of any color. So if there isn't an opportunity for us to move our own pieces, we must move an opponent's piece. The sidestep is a key part of the game. Basic strategy tips when thinking about a sidestep is you want to do one of 3 things. Either take advantage of the number rolled by moving one of your pieces to that row, stacking on other pieces so that they cannot move, or 3, in general, improving your position by spreading out your pieces to take advantage of as many different numbers as possible. Right now we can only sidestep 1 piece, and there really isn't a need to. So you can just simply move or press the skip sidestep to move to the mandatory move. Something that I haven't explained yet are the ominous black squares on the board, spread out, one in each row. These are mud bogs that will hold back a hedgehog until all the other hedgehogs catch up to that column. So as an example, the bog here in the 5 row, if you get stuck in it, that piece is locked in place until all other pieces get to that column. It is kind of a stabilizing game balancer where if someone rushes ahead into the bog, they'll have to wait for everyone to catch up. In general, you should avoid putting your pieces in there and try to steer your opponent's pieces into them to lock theirs down. That is basically the game, and as I mentioned before, it's the first player to reach 3 of their pieces into the far right column. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and get in there and give the game a try. This has been Robert Ng from Game Table Online, and this is Igel Ärgern.